Hi. Today I've got 11 flankers, a list of 11 flankers of fragrances that I think are better than the original that they came from. So let's go through that list. I've got 11 because, you know, fuck 10. So let's do 11 just for an extra one there. And first of all, I find it funny that we call them flankers because I looked up what flanker means and it comes from rugby. It's a position on a rugby field. So there's two flankers on the rugby field, one on the blind side and one on the onside. I don't know what I don't follow rugby, but that's where they come from, and their position it's like a wide receiver in American football, and their role is to just catch a pass and go along with it. So I guess flanker is a pretty appropriate name to give for a fragrance that was born from another fragrance. So it's like a remix or a variation of the original theme, just to suit a different sort of, maybe a different season, or maybe a different time of the day, or a different flavor, or they increase a certain nuance of the original, something like that. So having said all of that, let's get straight into the list. And the first one that I'm going to talk about is it's kind of like a dishonorable mention because it is this one right here. Oh God, it's this one right here. It is Guess Seductive Lhomme Noir, and this is as far as designers go, this is dog shit. But the original of this, which I've also got, is pure trash. It's total dog shit. I don't know why you would like it. It's really not that good in any way whatsoever. And there's a reason why it's cheap. But then at the same price point, you can get a lot better than Guess Seductive Lhomme. Guess Seductive Lhomme Noir is better than that, which isn't really a thing to sort of write home about because it's not. Well, you don't have a really good base to start off with. But having said that, this flanker is actually heaps better. It's like miles better than the original that it came from. But the caveat with this is that it's kind of like Subway. It's kind of like Subway. When Subway started here, everyone was like, "Oh, hey, healthy fast food, yeah," but it's still bad for you. It's really not that good for you. Like the large sort of foot-long sub that you ate with all the, you know, cold cuts in it and cheese and sauces and stuff, and it added up being just as bad for you as regular junk food, but maybe not as bad. Just as bad, but not as bad. So yeah, this is the Subway. It's just as bad, but it's not as bad. Just as bad, but it's not as bad. Just as bad, but it's not as bad. But it's not as bad. Yeah. Well, maybe I can use another analogy. Say in looks you're a 5. You're super average, and so then you would hang out with someone who's like a 2. And so that when you go out, people are like looking at you guys going, yeah, not the other one, you. Okay, that'll do. Kind of like that. So by comparison, this one's heaps better. What can I say? I mean, it's got a hefty bottle for the price point. It's pretty good. It's got a little helicopter lid like this. And it's got a pressurized atomizer, which, I mean, I could spray it, but then I'd have to smell it. Things I do. Okay. Well, there you go. Like that. It's not bad, actually. As far as dog shit goes, this one's pretty good. So I'll coin it. DDS, designer dog shit. As far as designer dog shit goes, this is pretty damn good compared to its original. So if you're in the market for a super, super cheap, kind of sweet sort of scent that is heaps better than the original that it came from, it's sort of more thicker, more richer, more darker, then you could go with Guess Seductive Lhomme Noir. Let's go to the next one that I want to talk about. And that is... First, let me take a sip of milk. Kidding, it's not milk. It's totally something else, but I'll explain that in a different video. Okay, the next one I've got on my list is this one right here. This is Ankara Noir à la extrême. Okay, the old Lalique Ankara Noir à la extrême. It is a staple of the cheapies lists and cheapies list videos that people put out with good reason, because it is a phenomenally good scent. Now, okay, so there's 3 in this lineup of Ankara Noir. There's the original, there's this one, and then there's a sport flanker. And I don't know why this has a sport flanker, because if you think about it, this is like being alone in your own thoughts in the middle of a forest, in a log cabin that you've built by hand. You've just chopped some wood, you're burning fire in this log cabin after a bit of rain has fallen in the forest, and you're reading a book by the fire. That's this. This is solitude. This is philosophy. This is like thinking about thinking. What sport does this person play? Nothing. That's why I just don't get the sport flanker. I really don't, and I don't think it's even close to this. But the original is an inky mess, and I don't know why people like it. I've got a bottle. I went through the whole thing. It took me years to go through it because I had to be in a certain mood. The weather had to be a certain shape for me to actually want to wear that. And it was a fragrance that I wore it when I didn't want human contact. I wore it when I wanted to be in my own zone. And it was the fragrance that I wore when I wanted people to fuck off and just keep in your space, keep in your lane. I'll keep in mind today. That's when I wore it. And with this, I kind of wear this when I want to intimidate people. I don't know why, but it seems very like, you know, if I'm coming at you with this, then it seems pretty intimidating. This is not a date night scent for sure. But in terms of a fragrance and what it actually is composed of, this dark sort of inky vetiver with the cypress and everything, and there's added smoke in here, which I absolutely love. It's a phenomenal scent. It is as good as Ankara Noir. People say it's art, etc. Yes, I kind of agree with that. But this is head and shoulders, kilometers, miles, whatever system you use, above that. So this flanker kills it. Ankara Noir à la extrême. Let's go to the next one. Okay, what's the next one I want to talk about? Yes, the next one I want to talk about is a Tom Ford one, and it's not the one you're thinking of, because originally Tom Ford released Noir, and then he released something else which was very popular. Noir wasn't very popular, and I think even though Noir Extreme and the Noir Parfum, really good, very mass appealing, very pleasing to the nose, very kind of unique scent as well. I absolutely love them. But I think in terms of that lineup, this one takes the cake. This is Tom Ford's Noir Anthracite. Head and shoulders above all of the others, in my view. Totally different. Totally different. Absolutely love it. And because when people, when Tom Ford released this, people were like, WTF? Because they said, what, Tom Ford? That's what they said. Ha 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 ha, joke. So this one, man, very, very dark, very, very in your face, very, very brash, you know. It's harsh, it's rough, it's not smooth, it's just straight up like gravel. That's what this is. It looks like gravel. It's like being sort of slid across concrete wearing shorts. That's what this is. I think this is a phenomenal scent. I'm upset that it's been discontinued and this is all I've got, but if you like taking risks, this is the one. This is the one. I wouldn't wear this indoors if I'm going to be inside an office. I don't think it's that friendly. But then again, it is a shit ton better than the original Noir. Noir Anthracite by Tom Ford. And that is 1, 2, 3 on this list of 11. The next one needs no introduction because, well, everybody knows this and everybody knows how good it is. And it is my most viewed video, the unboxing of one. It's this one right here. This is Christian Dior, Dior Homme Intense. Dior Homme Intense is, of course, the next one from the original Dior Homme. Now, I love Dior Homme. Dior Homme is one of my favorite fragrances of all time, but I don't wear it around other people. I wear that for me. It's a very me kind of fragrance. This I wear for everyone else to smell. And that's what it was designed to do. It was designed to capture the noses and the attentions of those who are passing by. And this is, man, that is good. It's designed to sort of work with your skin. It's designed to work with the heat of your skin. And in the cold weather, when you're wearing this and it's permeating off you, and it's just magic. And the sillage is fantastic as well. The scent trail that it leaves is really good. Now, where is my 2020 bottle of Dior Homme, you might ask, because that's the unboxing that most of you guys have been watching. It's gone. I sold it off because I wanted to use it because I didn't want to use this, but it's different. I'm sorry. It's different. It does not smell like this. It kind of reminds me of this, but there's just something missing from it. And I did look and I do notice that the formula number is different on that box. So there may have been a tweak there. So I think that if you can get the older bottles, and this is not that old. This is from 2018, this one. There's been different batches, etc., and different formula changes since it got reformulated, the big reformulation that is, from the original. But this, as long as you can get them in a bottle that looks like this, or the 100 ml, or the 150 ml, then you'll be good. But the new one is a bit weird. I mean, I did say that there's no difference, but I gave it time. It macerated and it kind of changed direction. It had sort of this rubbery sort of thing going on, which I didn't really appreciate. So that's why I'm sticking with this. And I'll probably end up using this, and that'll be the end of it for my Dior Homme Intense experience. And there you go. Here's one that is, again, 10 billion jillion times better than the original Dior Homme that it came from. Big words, I know, but I'm the type of guy that does these things. Cheers. I know I've ratted on this fragrance, well, not this one, but the original, many times before, but you may not know that I do have and enjoy this fragrance, or this flanker of it right here. And God, Jesus. All right, here. I don't want it to sort of... It is called 1 Million Lucky. Well, I was going to do it at the same time, but can't really see it. These stupid reflective things. But here, I'll hold it like this. Is that better? Yeah. 1 Million Lucky. 1 Million, I didn't like. 1 Million Privé, I didn't like more. 1 Million Cologne, 1 Million this, 1 Million Elixir. I don't know how many there are. But this one was actually really good. It's kind of different. But this flanker, really good. In terms of what they're trying to achieve, like stylistically, it's head and shoulders above all the rest of them. In terms of execution, it's still designer dog shit. That's what it is. And I wasn't expecting it to be like hugely niche sort of quality, but it is stylistically a niche interpretation. It's a designer interpretation of what a niche fragrance might try to do. That's what this is. Because the ozonic sort of feeling from the violet in here, juxtaposed with the plum, juxtaposed with like some hazelnut in the background. It's mind-boggling how this works, but it does work, and it's evidence of this is by how much there is not left in this bottle. Yeah, as you could probably see, it's less than halfway. Yes, it's a very, and you know what? It's kind of calming and relaxing at the same time, I think. Yeah. Super sweet somehow. I shouldn't like it. I know I shouldn't like it, but it's bloody hell. then again, it's testament to the fact that I think that this flanker is way better than the original, and all the other flankers as well. 1 million lucky. Well, the next one may be a little bit contentious because people love this fragrance. They love it a lot, and I've ratted on it in my previous fragrances that I didn't like video, and it was this one right here. This is Lhomme Ideal Intense. Now this is kind of different from the original Lhomme Ideal Eau de Toilette or Eau de Parfum. It still retains most of the DNA, but it's got this chili. It's got this chili in it. It's actually chili pepper in here. You can smell it, and it's got some smoke in there as well. Smoke and chili pepper is what distinguishes this, and it kind of gives it this sort of crazy depth. And I have sneezed once after I've actually sprayed this on, and it's really nice. It's kind of long lasting, and the chili pepper, whilst that sort of dissipates in the mids, the smoke sort of hangs around and sort of gets sort of more of a skin scent towards the base as well. And I think that this, as good as the original is head and shoulders above the rest of them, even the Cologne, which I also really like. But recently, after finding some niche sort of creamy citrus fragrances, that I think that it's somewhat lacking. It's really nice still, and for like $18 a bottle, you couldn't beat it at the time when it was available. Now that it's off the market, it's on the gray market, people are jacking up the prices for like $150 for a 50 ml bottle of the Cologne. It's just not worth it, because you can do a lot better than that if you get a brand new, maybe a niche sort of fragrance as well. But this one, in terms of like what it is and what it does and where it sits in the lineup, it really didn't get enough of the love that it actually deserved. And I think that it is 10 billion times better than the Eau de Parfum, because to me there was a note in the Eau de Parfum that really stuck out that I really didn't like, and I couldn't unsmell it once I smelled it, and therefore I like this one a lot better because it doesn't have that note. Man, and I'd like to show you the atomizer on this one as well, because it sprays really wide sort of distribution, and it's really weird because if you turn it kind of sideways, it'll spray on itself like that, and you can see the bottle is all wet. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, it's wet itself again. Caroline, you wet yourself. Just wipe this here, why not? Fragrant pants. Okay, the next one probably needs a bit of introduction because it was released a long time ago. It's by Cartier. It is called Santos. The Cartier is the original. That's the original, but the one that I think, or the flanker that I think should be getting all of the love is this one right here. It is called Santos de Cartier Concentré, right? This is the Concentré. They look identical. However, this band, I think, on the regular Cartier is silver, and on the Concentré it is gold. But this bottle with the striations is, I think, formulation number 3 or 4 or something, because these were released a while back, I think in the 80s. But this has performed magnificently for me. The addition, there's also chili in here, but it's not as prominent as the Guerlain before. This is sort of a lot more subdued. The original Santos was a nice sort of very, very woody, sort of very dry, very woody fragrance. This introduces some herbaceousness and some aromatics into the equation, which actually just broaden it out, especially in the dry down, when you just get this lovely sort of just above your skin scent for, I don't know, a good 4 hours towards the tail end of your day, and it just makes you feel so classy and so suave and so sophisticated. It is a very, very gentlemanly fragrance, and I cannot recommend it enough, especially if you're a young dude. It is not sweet by any means. It's dark, it's sort of peppery, so with the chilies in there as well, and there's again all the typically masculine, manly shit that's in here is in here, but it's done in a very refined and a very classy way. Is it the smoothest fragrance in the world? No, it's not. But in terms of offerings, Cartier do it just a little bit better than most, I think, and they're quite underrated as a house. Definitely think so. And I think that this flanker, which has been around since the 80s and it's still around, it's just so good. It's just very, very good. It's like head and shoulders above the original Santos. Santos de Cartier Concentrate. Okay, we've got 4 more on the list, and the next one up is going to be this one right here. This is no stranger to anyone who watches fragrance review videos, because this is Dolce Gabbana's Light Blue Eau Intense. And this one is a shit ton better than the original Light Blue. Why? Because of the addition of performance. Yeah, the original Light Blue wasn't a very good performer. This one, just on clothes especially, you have to wash it out. It's just that strong. And it's the saltiness of it, the marineness of it that actually hangs around for quite a while. There is a tiny hint of citrus at the top, but that goes away very quickly. And in terms of the original, the fragrance itself goes away very quickly. This, however, stays on you, which is really good considering it's a summer scent and it works really good in high heat. And I have used quite a bit of it already. And I think come next summer, I might pull it out and spritz it on again. Lovely, lovely. Almost got like a little bit of a seaweedy, cucumbery kind of thing going on there. The refreshingness of it and the marininess of it. I'm making up words, that's correct, but then again, my English good. And that was Light Blue Eau Intense by Dolce Gabbana. Heaps better than the original Light Blue. Now with this next one, I don't really know how to do this one, because this is a flanker of a flanker. So the original was Burberry Brit, and then they had Burberry Brit Rhythm, and this is the Burberry Brit Rhythm Intense flanker of that Burberry Brit Rhythm flanker. Do you get it? Do you understand? And this is the men's one. There's a women's one as well. Why? Why did I make it so confusing? Anyway, originally when I did the first impressions of this, and you can watch a video of it somewhere on my channel, of course, I got a note of rotting vegetables. So I let it sit there for quite a bit before I came back to it, almost a year later. And I have been wearing this off and on, and you can't see actually how much is left in the bottle, which is fantastic for longevity purposes, but really crap if you want to find out how much is left. I've been wearing it off and on recently, and I think that it's really macerated quite well. And there's a depth in here. There's a thickness. There's a viscous nature of this particular scent. It is sweet, no doubt, and it's sweet kind of like the 1 Million Lucky is sweet, in that sort of almost like a plummy kind of pulpy, ripened pulpy fruits kind of sweetness in here. And I actually enjoy this. And in terms of comparing this to the original, yes, it's heaps better than that. And then comparing this to the Rhythm flanker, it's still better than the Rhythm flanker. The Intense is actually quite a lot better than the Rhythm flanker, but it's like a 10 jillion times better than the original Burberry Brit. So if you're going to go for anything in that lineup, it's still designer dog shit, but if you're going for anything in that lineup, the Burberry Brit Rhythm Intense for men is the one that I would recommend. It is hella cheap as well. I think this little bottle cost me like $20. It's a 50 ml. So yeah, if you're looking for a cheapie for, I guess, the autumn winter sort of season, then yeah, this is still around and you can still get it. It's an alright bottle as well. Okay, so this next one also needs no introduction, because anyone who actually ever has watched a YouTube video review of a fragrance or any sort of top 10 list, this would always be on someone's top 10 list. It's La Nuit de l'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. Now, La Nuit de l'Homme is not really considered a flanker by so many people, but it is the flanker to Lhomme, which was the original release in 2006, I believe. And this came out in 2009. So Lhomme was of men, the man, Lhomme, the man, of man, something like that. Of the man, Lhomme. My French is terrible, but I know a little bit. And this is La Nuit de l'Homme, which is the night of the man, which means that Lhomme is the day of the man. So that's the day scent. This is the night scent to complement the day scent. And so then together you have the complete man. Right. Now that that's settled, I've got more than one, and I've had a few of these bottles, different formulations. I had a big 200 ml of a 2020 bottle, which I used up a little bit. I didn't like it as much as my 2018 bottle that I had, so I got rid of that one because I noticed significant differences between the 2018 and the 2020, even though I gave the 2020 a year and a half to sort of mature and macerate in the bottle. This is my 2018. Right here, you can see right there, and juice color, whatever. I think this video has been done so many times already, but if I can turn them upside down. But yeah, I like this one. It's kind of smooth. It's got like a green apple kind of, it's got a really nice sort of fresh green apple kind of vibe to me, and that's the cardamom with the sweetness working together. But this bottle here from 2010 is the original formulation, and when I wear this, yes, it is a hell of a lot more spicier, and I get the lemony nature of the cardamom itself that came out, and I giggled when I noticed that nuance. It was really good. It did last a little bit longer as well. And that's really weird considering that it's like 8 years older than the other bottle is. And so, yes, La Nuit de l'Homme. I think as good as L'Homme is, and L'Homme is one of my favorite fragrances, La Nuit de l'Homme is it just knocked it out of the park. And who said you can't wear this during the daytime? Of course you can. You don't have to wear it at nighttime. But yeah, L'Homme was designed to be the day. This is designed to be the night. But then everybody went, ooh, this is heaps better. So this is kind of like the same thing as the Dior Intense, where everybody really thought, Dior Homme was nice, but maybe a little bit too feminine, that kind of thing. But then this really just came about and went, hello, I'm here to get you attention. This is what this thing did. It said, hello, I'm here to get you attention. Is it the most magnificent thing in the world? No. Is it a pleasant smell that everybody likes? Yes. Yes, it is. And is it millions of times better than L'Homme? Maybe not. Maybe I'd say it's only sort of a few times better than L'Homme. In terms of like scent, in terms of performance, in terms of the amount of attention that it gets you, if that's what you're after, then this one does it better than the original. And it knocked it out of the park, especially in terms of sales as well. La Nuit de l'Homme. The last one, fragrance number 11, that gets no hype, no love, no nothing, because the original gets all the love. And I think that everybody is wrong and I am right. Yes, it's everybody else that's wrong. I'm still right. Yeah, okay, whatever. It's this one here. This is Bulgari's Man Black Orient. So this flanker is called Black Orient. Now, Bulgari's Man is a separate fragrance to Bulgari's Man Black, or Man in Black. And this is the flanker to the Man in Black. And the Man in Black is a lovely, beautiful, I think it's an Alberto Morillas creation, which has great performance, lovely spiciness, very classy, very elegant, very sophisticated, and I think better than what it gets compared to in terms of Spice Bomb Extreme by Viktor and Rolf. But this one adds, it adds oud, and it adds oud. No, it adds oud and it adds smokiness, which I really like, if you couldn't tell. And this one, I think, even though it has the DNA, it just takes it and elevates it. And I was wearing this yesterday. I put it on in the morning and it was there in the afternoon. It was there in the evening and it was delightful. I thought I was wearing a niche fragrance. And I've said this in a previous video of, my top 6 niche quality or niche level designer scents. This was in the list. This was in that list. This has been discontinued, but because it gets no hype, you can still pick it up at a very reasonable price. I think that it is tons better than the original Man in Black. So that's my take on this one, Bulgari's Man Black Orient. And that concludes this list video. Thank you everybody for watching. As always, I appreciate it. Appreciate all your comments and the discussions that we have down there as well. And as always, thanks for watching.